So what's up guys, it's here by Nino or Quadri, and I just want to say happy winter. We're finally in the winter time and things are getting kind of breezy around here. I wanted to upload this video today to kind of update you guys on the newest best setting, exclusively aiming settings. I'm not really going to go over graphics or anything like that I typically do, because unfortunately, with my last settings video, Treyarch themselves did share an original chart with the sensitivities and how they were converted over to, the new sensitivity options, some time ago. But unfortunately, those values were wrong, and Exclusive Ace made a whole video talking about what your new sensitivity should be. So I thought I'd update you guys on how to find your new good sensitivity that's actually accurate to what maybe you were referencing before. And I wanted to give you guys some secret tips and tricks on how to pretty much use aim assist to your advantage and little things that it's gonna improve your gameplay. So you guys excited to see the best settings that I got for you guys on controller, how to play better on Black Ops 6, and more tips and tricks in the future? Make sure you guys drop a like and subscribe. We're on the road to 250,000 subscribers here on the Black Ops 6 year, and I hope you come along for the ride. But that's enough of me blabbering. Let's go ahead and talk about some stats here. So to start things off, I just want to show you guys a little screenshot of my stats here, because as you can see, I put a lot of time into this game. I have 168 hours. I'm legit Prestige Master, level 265, 84.40 KD, 2.25 win-loss. I take this game pretty seriously, and these are my credentials to show you guys that I know what I'm talking about, and I know how to beast on this game. Let's go ahead and show you guys the controller settings that I want to kind of cover for you guys. So when it comes to the horizontal stick sensitivity and the vertical stick sensitivity, these are the values that apparently were wrong in the original chart that I showed on my original settings video after they made the changes. And now what you guys are seeing on screen are the new values that you should be running if you want to get a good comparison from BO6 and MW3. So you can see here, I am personally on a 1.8 sensitivity on both horizontal and vertical, which is around an 8 before. With the BO6, before they updated the sensitivities, and it was a 7 in MW3 apparently. And 1.8 feels good. I might bump this up to a 1.9 or a 1.85, somewhere around there, but I've been feeling pretty good on 1.8 personally. So use the new chart, adjust to your heart's content, and find out what sensitivity works for you. And in case you guys are curious as to why my button layout is L2 Bumper Jumper Tactical, this allows me to jump shot, drop shot, everything just with like a default controller. I have no paddles on this, so instead I jump with L2, aiming with L1, shoot with R1, and throw grenades with R2, stim shot with X, drop shot slide with R3 here. Just makes the gun a lot more versatile for me, and you don't have to pay extra money on like a special controller or anything like that. Save your money and everything like that. It will take some time for you to get used to on how to jump shot and drop shot and slide a lot more smoothly, but I'm telling you, you can optimize your movement by using this button layout. So switch to this or use whatever your controller layout you're already using and get used to that. In case you guys are wondering about my dead zones and my inputs here, I have my left stick min and right stick min on 7 and 9 just to make sure I don't have any stick drift with the controller here. As you guys can see, there's no stick drift available, which is really nice. Going into your aiming advanced settings, which you can find in the aiming section, and then clicking on here. The most important setting here is dynamic, or the aim response curve type here. Some people like standard, some people like linear. Dynamic has always been the best one because it allows you to pretty much maximize your stickiness when it comes to aiming at people. And this is what a lot of the pros have played on since Modern Warfare 2019. And it's been tested on various uses of these aim assists. So up to you on how to, adjust that. Just don't change your aim response curve slope scale, just because if you change that, you might end up messing yourself up. And when it comes to ADS sensitivity transition timing, make sure it's on instant. Gradual used to be the best, but once they updated things and instant became fixed, it's just better to use instant, so you can be instantaneous with your ADSing and everything like that. Target aim assist has got to be on. If you're playing on controller, you should have it on, unless you're just a complete demon on the game. When it comes to the movement here, I have sprint assist on just because it helps me take advantage of the on movement, but I have sprint assist delay off, so I have no delay. And sprint assist sideways and backwards, so I can keep using that on the movement. Mantle assist should be off. Crouch assist should be on. Corner slice I have on. Slide/dive behavior, you can have that on tap to slide or a hybrid, whatever you prefer. And most importantly, make sure your slide/dive activation delay is on short, so you can really take advantage of the on the movement and be a little more fluid. And then skipping on over to combat advanced settings within the combat section here, I do want to point out the interact/reload behavior. I highly recommend tap to reload just because it's the classic way to run Black Ops 6 multiplayer. On Warzone, I do prioritize interact just because it helps me loot faster, but because it's more focused on multiplayer, I do use tap to reload so that I'm able to just swap between weapons a lot easier, or whatever the case may be. One thing I almost forgot to mention is that in your graphics settings, here in the view section, your FOV might be kind of important. Now, some people, they really like the lower FOV between like 100 to 110. Me personally, I just go all the way to 120. Some people think that like aim assist, it gets messed up or whatever at 120 FOV. I don't personally feel that. My aim assist feels fine personally. So I think that's just a conspiracy theory from people. You know, run at whatever FOV you want. The reason why I have mine at 120 is because I want to be able to see as much of the map as possible while I'm playing Warzone or multiplayer. Either case, I have these settings the same on both modes, and I think it's the best way to go. Now, when it comes to ADS field of view, that's where you might find some variance with people. Some people like affected. Affected means that your FOV when you're ADSing is the same. So if I have 120 FOV, if I'm on affected, when I ADS, it's still going to be 120 FOV, and everything looks the same. However, on independent, your FOV lowers to, I believe, 80 FOV or 100 FOV. I forget what it is exactly when you're ADSing. So without ADSing, I'm still at a 120 FOV, but because I'm on independent, every time I ADS, everything gets bigger. And the reason why I want everything to get bigger, I want to be able to see the target that I'm kind of focused on. Because whenever you're ADSing, you're technically trying to focus in on something. You're not really looking elsewhere. You're trying to observe something at farther range, or up close, or you're trying to get your shots on point. So with that independent FOV, everything looks bigger, and thus I'm able to pinpoint my tracking a little bit better on the opponents far away. And this really helps like a little bit farther range situations. If you play up close, you know, won't see too much difference with affected, but with independent, this helps you in case you're trying to body somebody at long ranges. That's why you see me like destroy people at long ranges. Independent FOV is the reason why I'm able to do that. So keep that in mind. You can play on affected, you can play on independent. This is the way I like playing, and I give you my reasoning for it, so choose to your heart's content. And that's pretty much it for the important settings when it comes to your controller settings here. Another thing I do want to point out is in the interface settings, if you go over to gameplay HUD, you know, you can set your HUD or whatever to whatever you want. One thing that I think is super important in terms of the aiming is the crosshairs. Make sure your crosshair is at least on, and you could do static or center dot. The center dot is really important, and you guys will see why. But putting it on largest, you'll be able to see the center dot in game. And I'll explain this more in the actual footage once I go in game. But this is definitely what you want to put on if you want to kind of like master your centering and your aiming within Black Ops 6 multiplayer. So now let's head into game and give you guys some examples on how to improve your aim assist, how to take advantage, maybe give you some movement tips, and go more in depth. So now we're going to go into a private match, and I'm going to attempt to show you guys little tips and tricks on how to exactly take advantage of the aim assist, and little tips and tricks that intuitively I just do, and I've just never explained in video. So I'm really trying to do this raw and teach you guys how to rock and roll. So to start things off, as you can see, we got our center dot here, and this is why the center dot is important. It helps you center better. You're able to be a little bit more snappy with your aim, and thus you're able to just kind of see people and snap on them. Another thing that you should be aware about when playing Black Ops 6 multiplayer is that the aim assist is 0 when you're up close to an opponent. So if the opponent's like right here, like next to me, I have no aim assist while I'm trying to kill them and they're trying to kill me. So at that point, it really is all your aim. And that aim assist gradually gets better. Like you actually get aim assist once you're like past 10 meters or something like that. So at this point, I pretty much have aim assist. And that's just a balance between keyboard and mouse players and SMG players. And it's kind of like something you just kind of realize and get used to in a sense. So you got to keep that in mind. Aim assist is completely off the closer you get to an opponent, but gradually gets bigger the farther away you are from an opponent. And just in general, playing against bots before you play every single day is also pretty good. Because what I used to do during Call of Duty Ghosts is actually I would kill like 500 bots or something in private match before I got to play. Because it just warms up your aim. It's just easy practice. You're able to kind of get your shot together. I don't really do it nowadays just because I'm not really trying to be a better player, technically. I've gotten as much skill as I need to, almost as like a 29-year-old. But even doing this now is helping me because now that I play, I'm kind of like warmed up and I'm ready to destroy the opponents when I play, you know, actual Black Ops 6 multiplayer. So try practicing against bots as well. That's just another very general, very good tip that I can give you guys to help it improve you in that sense. Also, just something that you should know, make sure that your right stick helps you with rotational aim assist, because you can see right there, I've got some rotation, but not a ton. But if you're using your right stick as well as your left stick, then you got max rotational aim assist, and that's something that people really don't cover in general or really don't talk about, I feel like. Because it's something just kind of intuitive, but as you can see here, I've got way more aim assist on this person because I'm moving both my right stick and my left stick at the same time. So getting used to having both of your fingers on your L3 and your R3 really makes aiming at the opponents a lot more easily because the aim assist is doing the work for you in a sense. So that is something to kind of keep in mind as you're improving on the game and kind of learning the mechanics and how to destroy the opponents. I stopped shooting because I thought he died. Now, when it comes to sliding around and everything, I usually try to slide around surfaces and like areas that I know is gonna give me an advantage. Like right here, I know people spawn out of here like very commonly, especially on the C flag or A flag, whatever this is in Dom. People spawn here like really easily, and this is a very good like head glitch or whatever that can keep you alive. So, you know, trying to anticipate the opponent spawning here is very easy to do, and thus you're able to kind of move around, move here, you know, see whatever piece of cover you can get. And right here, if you're trying to like get somebody at long range, the best move to do is obviously use a slide and be ready for that point of aim, because ADSing is going to help you win more gunfights more than anything else. Like, see, I usually predict people in the middle there because they're going to be there. It's one of the most common areas in the game, especially because I'm playing free-for-all, you know, it's kind of more obvious at that point. So before you assume to challenge somebody there, use your aim, your movement to your advantage. Movement's also super important. ADS as much as you can. It's going to help you pretty much master this mechanic of kind of pre-preparing for a gunfight. And just generally, if you want to learn how to know where the opponents are at, I'm playing free-for-all right now, but if I was playing TDM, I'm looking at my mini-map like all the fucking time. And wherever I am at, and wherever my teammates are at, the opponents are not there. So anywhere else is where I know enemies are more likely to be at. So say, for example, I've got like 5 teammates right here on like, how do you do it? TacMac? Like, imagine if like my entire team was right here. Or like maybe I've got like 3 teammates here, the 2 teammates in the middle here, then I know everybody is like right here. In like a B flag, A flag, C flag sort of vibe. Like that's just kind of how you gotta read things. Like I have 1 teammate here, I've got 1 teammate here, 2 teammates here, and maybe another teammate right here. Then I'm gonna know that a lot of them are right here, but there's that slight chance that there's so many of us like right here and me right here that they're gonna flip over here. So hopefully I'm making a decent job at explaining what I'm trying to say. I don't really do tips and tricks videos because I don't feel like I do a good job at them, but those are various things that will help you when it comes to playing Black Ops 6 multiplayer. You know, once you get to learn the mechanics, master the movement, you know, you don't have to do all this fancy sliding, schmoozing, you know, thing that you gotta do, but just the basics, like sliding into, like, common lanes where people are gonna be at, like right there, and just getting kind of used to that is a really key attribute. And obviously, UAVs make everything so much easier. UAVs, harps, all of that stuff, it just naturally improves your gameplay. But even without, like, an advance or a UAV or anything, just general intuition really goes a long way within Black Ops 6 multiplayer. So, you know, you could do all these fancy slides, you could do the backwards freaking dolphin dives or whatever, but at the end of the day, you don't need to do all that. Just kind of learning the basics and making sure that you bring your gun up before your opponents do is super important. You know, all you can really do to really prepare for whatever is ahead. But yeah, I think that's as much as I want to show off here. Hopefully this video was useful to you guys in some way. Hopefully I did a decent job. If you guys want to see even more in-depth tips and tricks, definitely do drop a like, subscribe to new channels, post notifications, and follow me over on Twitch at twitch.tv/themarkofahero. I really freaking love you guys on my heart, and keep being big ballers. Let's freaking go.